Hello children and welcome to 8th class chemistry lesson. In this class we are going to continue chapter 5, that is language of chemistry. And today we are going to study about balancing of simple chemical equations. First of all, what does a symbol represent? The symbol of an element represents the following, that is an element in particular, an atom of an element. Symbols are generally used to represent something in short form, representation of names of elements in short form. Similarly, chemical symbols are used to represent the names of the elements in short forms. But what is the significance of using a symbol? Yes, the chemical symbols are used to represent a specific element. For example, we have the reaction in this reaction. Na represents the sodium, whereas Cl represents the element chlorine. Na is sodium and Cl is chlorine, and comes NaCl represents the compound sodium chloride. So chemical symbols also help us to represent a specific element. Now these element symbols also help us to represent one atom of the element. That is the symbol Ai. It represents one atom of aluminium. Al, it represents the one atom of the aluminium. Whereas the symbol S, one atom of sulfur. In similar way, H, one atom of hydrogen. For the symbol H represents one atom of the hydrogen, where the first one specific element that represents the chemical name element, that is Cl is known as element chlorine and Na is known as sodium. In second way, one atom of the element. Now in third significance of symbol, atomic weight. Now these chemical symbols also helps to represent the atomic weight. For example, C12. Here the C12 stands for unified atomic mass, whereas the 12 stands for unified atomic mass, which also C12 is known as 12 grams of carbon, which known as the gram atomic mass, Similarly, O16 represents the 16 gram of oxygen. Here O16 represents the 16 gram of oxygen, which can also represent as 16 gram of oxygen, which is called gram atomic mass. So chemical symbols help us to represent the specific element, one atom of the atomic weight. But how did this discovery of using symbols for representing elements actually starts from? Yes, John Dalton, the scientist, used a circle to represent an oxygen atom, whereas a circle with dot to represent hydrogen atom, as well as he used many geometrical designs. Whereas a circle for oxygen, circle with dot is hydrogen, circle with plus sign, that is sulfur. So to represent different elements as well as compounds like ammonia and water, but these geometrical designs are quite difficult to remember. That is, to present 118 elements with these geometrical designs was quite very difficult to remember, right? So there was a difficulty in representing the elements. So there is a scientist named J.J. Berzelius. He suggested that in order to represent, one can use the initial letter of the element. The initial letter of an element written in capitals can be used to represent a particular element, which are written in capitals can be used to represent a particular element. For example, oxygen. If you look at the oxygen, in order to write oxygen, you can write the initial as O. In order to write oxygen, you can write the initial as O. Same as for sulfur also. In order to write the sulfur, you can indicate the initial S. Even for hydrogen, you can write the hydrogen for H for hydrogen, O for oxygen, S for sulfur. Now, the concept we are going to formulae of elements. The formula of a molecule gives the numbers of atoms of the same or different elements present in the molecule, where the number of atoms of the same or different elements present in the molecule. In other words, it tells us how many atoms of elements which have combined together to form the molecule. How many atoms or elements which have combined together, they are combined together to form the molecule. When an atom of an element combines with another atoms of the same element, a molecule is formed. A molecule of the element is formed. That is, the number of atoms contained in a molecule is called the atomicity of the molecule. Atomicity of the molecule. Molecules of nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine and chlorine contain 2 atoms of the element. So they are represented as N2, O2, F2 and Cl2 respectively, and are said to be diatomic. A common example of triatomic gas is ozone. It indicates O3, that is triatomic gas. An atom of a noble gas element, example helium He, neon Ne, argon Ar, etc., being highly inactive. They are highly inactive. They does not combine with any other atoms. Because they are highly inactive, they does not combine with any other atoms. Hence, a molecule of a noble gas contains only one atom of an element. One atom of the element. In other words, noble gas are all monoatomic. They are known as monoatomic. The atomicity of phosphorus is 4. P4 is the atomicity of phosphorus is 4. Whereas the sulfur 8. It is for the sulfur, the atomicity of the sulfur is 8. Next, the valency of an element. The valency of an element. The combining capacity of an element with the other elements is known as its valency. The combining capacity of an element with other elements is known as its valency. It is given by the number of hydrogen atoms that one atom of an element combines with or displaces with to form a compound. One atom of Cl combines with one atom of H to form one molecule of hydrogen chloride. See, Cl plus H. Cl indicates chlorine, whereas H is hydrogen. One molecule of chlorine and one molecule of hydrogen gives hydrogen chloride. So the valency of Cl is 1, but one atom of each of oxygen, nitrogen and carbon combines with 2, 3 and 4 atoms of hydrogen to form molecule of water. The elements with valencies 1 to 3 are said to be monovalent, divalent, trivalent and so on. The elements with valencies 1 is monovalent, 2 is divalent, 3 is trivalent. The valencies of first 20 elements. The valencies of first 20 elements, that is those having atomic numbers 1 to 20. Those having atomic numbers of 1 to 20. Here we see in the picture, the 1 is hydrogen, 2 is helium, 3 lithium, 4 beryllium, 5 boron, 6 carbon, N nitrogen, O oxygen, F ferrous, 10 that is Ne neon, Na sodium Mg, magnesium Al, aluminium Si, silicon, P for phosphorus, 16 that is S for sulfur, and 17 that is Cl, that is known as chlorine, 18 is argon, and 19 K is potassium, 20 is calcium. When elements are arranged in increasing order of atomic number, we find that their valence is also arranged in order. When they are arranged in increasing order, we find that their valencies are also arranged in an order as mentioned. See, the valency gradually rises from 1 to 4 and then falls to 1 and finally to 0. It gradually rises from 1 to 4 and then falls to 1 and finally to 0. The elements in a column have the same valency. Those elements in the column have the same valency. Okay, this is a valency of the first 20 elements. In next topic, we are going to discuss about the reactions and their skeleton structures. Reactions and their skeleton structures. Equations using symbols and formulas. Writing the skeleton of an equation is first written by noting the symbols and formula of the reactants on left side. On left side they are the reactants, and those are in the right side, it is products. Here see, carbon dioxide dissolves in water to form carbonic acid. When carbon dioxide CO2 dissolves in water, it forms carbonic acid. See, CO2 plus H2O gives rise to H2CO3. Left hand side, those are the reactants, and right hand side, those are the products. Next, ammonia dissolves in water to form ammonium hydroxide. NH3 plus H2O gives rise to NH4OH. Next, in this today's class, we are going to learn balancing chemical equations. According to the law of conservation of matter can neither be created nor destroyed. Thus, nor can be atoms. As number of atoms are lost or gained in a chemical reaction, the number of atoms of each element in the reactant side must be equal to that of product side. It should be balanced. The name itself indicating balancing means the both sides, product side and the reactant side and the product side, the element should be balanced. Okay, a chemical equation in which the number of atoms of an element on the reactant side is the same as that on the product side is called a balanced chemical equation. It is known as a balanced chemical equation. See, unbalanced chemical equations are those a chemical equation in which number of atoms of each element on reactant side is not equal to number of atoms of each element on product side. Those are the unbalanced. Whereas in unbalanced, the elements in reactant sides are not equal to the elements or the atoms of each element on the product side. So here balancing equation is nothing but they are the balanced chemical equations are in which number of atoms of each element on reactant side should be equal to the product side. Should be equal to the product side. Whereas unbalanced chemical equations are a chemical equation in which number of atoms of each element on reactant side is not equal to the number of atoms of each element on products. So you should know the differences between the balanced chemical equation and unbalanced chemical equation. So here we go the examples of balanced chemical reactions, balanced chemical equations. Example 1. Reaction of hydrogen with oxygen to produce water. Reaction of hydrogen with oxygen to produce water. The word equation is hydrogen plus oxygen gives rise to water. hydrogen plus oxygen gives rise to water. Formulae for the reactants are H2 and O2, while the product it is H2O. Therefore, the skeletal equation is H2 plus O2 gives rise to H2O. H2 plus O2 gives rise to H2O, that is water. Hydrogen plus oxygen to produce water. And from the examples discussed, see, it is the following equation balanced. See, C plus O2. C is nothing but carbon and O2 is oxygen. Yes, because the number of atoms of C and O are equal on the both sides. Okay. So we are ending our class till here. Tomorrow